welcome to another book review, and I am going to be reviewing Pretty Boy D by Rachel Jonas and Nikki Thorne. Nikki Thorne has been in the circuit for a good minute, so that was one of the reasons why I knew to add this book to my TBR list. Now, this book was suggested to me from Book Talk. So, full disclosure, I was not aware when I purchased the book that it was part of a series. So this book is actually book 4 of the Kings of Cypress Point series. But after reading the book, I realized that Pretty Boy D is a spin-off and can be a standalone. So, before you get all iffy, you can fully read this book by itself and not freak out like I did. So, from my understanding, books 1 through 3 follow the hero and his character's older brother, who's basically a snippet in this book. So you know who he is and kind of all that fun stuff. Now, Pretty Boy D. I absolutely loved this book. Loved this book. Like, seriously, I'm actually mad it's not thicker. I read this book in about a good 8 hours. I could not put it down. It was funny. It was well written. I love the fact that it has perspectives from the male and the female, the hero and the heroine. I love the supporting characters. Beautiful book. Now, what's it about? It follows Dane Golden. He's one of 3 Golden brothers. And it follows Dane and Jocelyn and their friendship. So as you know, this is a best friends to lovers romance novel. Okay, so Dane Golden is a not professional, but a collegiate football player, him and his brothers. Basically, all of his followers call him Pretty Boy D. Guess why? Because he's super cute and gives that pretty boy aspect. You know, he's like, not like the boy next door, but he's like a true great guy best friend. Jocelyn is that traditional awesome girl best friend. Before I get ahead of myself without spoiling anything, Dane basically is about to start college along with Jocelyn, so he has this whole loft that he's going to move into instead of the dorm, where he plans on, you know, full-time living while he plays football, goes to school, and manages his own social media fame, as you would say. Jocelyn basically is, you know, getting ready to, she's a cheerleader, getting ready to go to college along with Dane and his brothers, and just living life where basically her father's affair turns her world upside down to the point where he wants to take his still wife and Jocelyn and move out of the country and start new. Jocelyn doesn't want to do that. She's dreamed of going to this college all her life. She doesn't want her world turned upside down. So she agrees, not willingly, but she agrees to share this loft with Dane, her best friend in the whole wide world. Dane and Jocelyn obviously have feelings for each other more than friends, but Jocelyn never wants to push that envelope because Dane is like her best friend, her one true thing that's solid in her life, and she doesn't want in any way ruin that. So when she basically agrees to live with Dane in this loft, you know, it's kind of pushing boundaries for them because they've never, like, they've been alone with each other over the years. I mean, they've been best friends since like they were 12. They're like 18 now, basically young adults. And she's pretty much saying, like, wow, we're going to be pushing that boundary line because now we're going to be, like, around each other full time. There won't be parents around stopping things. There won't be siblings around stopping things. Like, you know, this could get messy. With that being said, after kind of having an identity crisis, Jocelyn makes this list of a Never Have I Ever list. Because she ends up making this list purely because, you know, she's been daddy's little girl all her life, you know, and now that, you know, her world's turned upside down in regards to her father, she's like, what are the things that I never got to do while I was under my father's roof that I potentially want to do this summer before I start college? One of the things on there has to do with the other male with a male species, not him. But, of course, her living with her best friend, he ends up seeing this Never Have I Ever list, and he's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's, you know, get tattoos. Let's get drunk. Let's do all these things, right? So, with them being roommates, it's just a lot of things that weren't an issue start becoming an issue, and you're following them along as they navigate those issues. So hard not spoiling this book because it's so good. Now, the spice level, 1 being like a pact, 5 being like Den of Vipers. If you have not read Den of Vipers, oof. I would say this is a 3. I love the supporting characters. I truly wish it was longer. I love getting glimpses into Dane's perspective, and I love getting glimpses into Jocelyn's perspective. Because sometimes you're kind of wondering, why did so-and-so react that way? With it being from both perspectives, you kind of get an understanding on why they do the things they do, why they act the way they act, and so forth. Was it hilarious? Yes. Were the supporting characters amazing? Yes. Would I read this book again? Yes. Would I continue the series? No. Here's why. Will I read the first 3 books? No. Here's why. What I've gathered from reading the synopsis of the first 3 books and intermingling with the older brother, the first 3 books are not my cup of tea because I myself am not into bully romances. From my understanding and from what it's labeled as, the first 3 books have to do and are under the kind of theme or genre of a bully romance. I don't like bully romances. Now, the continuance of the next book follows the youngest brother of the Golden series. The youngest brother. And from my understanding, that's kind of a age gap romance / maybe enemies to lover. I don't know. When I read the synopsis, it just really did not pique my interest. And the book after that it's kind of another spin-off one similar to Pretty Boy D that has to do with one of the characters from the first 3, so I wasn't interested in it. That's my opinion. Those other books are not my cup of tea. But Pretty Boy D was utterly amazing. If I could convince these ladies to just give a novella of, you know, at least their first year of college or even their years in college together. I don't know. But the ending, the epilogue did end beautifully, so my interest in it continuing is pure just obsession. So I would say check it out if you want a cute romance, best friend romance that makes you laugh out loud. Check out Pretty Boy D. Thank you. As always, please subscribe.
You melt the ice behind my stone cold eyes. I turn the